Good morning. I bring you greetings this morning from the National Church headquarters here in Chicago, the Lutheran Center. This morning's lesson comes to us through Mark, the 13th chapter, beginning with the first verse. It is an apocalyptic message. And in fact, when you read, or as the lesson was being read to you this morning, you hear these people talking about the end times. When is it coming? In our world, we've built a whole industry around determining when the end of time comes. We've got people who have written books on top of books. We have numerologists who have looked at the numbers, as they say, to determine when God is going to come again. It's amazing to me that we spend so much time and energy trying to figure out Kairos, God's time. Why? I do not know, since none of us is in charge of God's time. Only God is in charge of God's time. And as God has told us on more than one occasion, God will act when God chooses to act. Yet we spend gobs of money trying to figure out when the end of time comes. But I have a different thought on this matter. What if we spent our time taking care of the needs of our neighbors, feeding hungry, helping those who don't have housing, taking care of those who don't have clothes, being with those who are dispossessed? What if we spent our time loving our neighbor as God has loved us? To me, if that's what we were doing, then whenever God comes, doesn't matter, I'll be ready. When the time comes, I don't have to worry about anything because I've done the best I can with what God has given me. I want to focus my attention not on when the time is coming. I want to focus it on what I am doing to move the work of the kingdom. I'm focusing on my work, not God's. God seems to know what God is doing, but I'm not sure about us. I'm not sure about humanity. Here we go and we're fighting with one another. We have wars killing one another. We starve each other and kill babies and children and all those kinds of folks. We do these things to ourselves. And we even sometimes do it in the name of God. God doesn't tell us to do that kind of stuff. Nor does God choose for us to do anything other than to love our neighbor. This is the work of the kingdom. You see, we ought to be taking care of the needs of our neighbors, of our family. We should be taking care of the needs of those who are around us. We ought to demonstrate and create an atmosphere of love, of grace, of justice, of mercy. We ought to do our part to build the kingdom. So as I am sitting here in Chicago at our National Church Council meeting, I took a moment to bring you this word. Mostly because in my humanness, I recorded a sermon and then lost it. And I noted I needed to record another one. But what I really want you to remember, though, is our work continues wherever we are. Our work is not around trying to figure out when God's coming, but doing the will of the Spirit. This is our time. This is our time now. So I pray that the Holy Spirit be with you. The Holy Spirit guides you. The Holy Spirit nurtures you. Keep your eye on the prize. For Jesus has already gone to the grave and saved us. He's already done the will of the Father. Now it's up to us to do the will of God. You go and be a blessing to your neighbor, just as God has been a blessing to you. To God be the glory.